Anywho, fire up the news desk. We got some games for you. The Mung Young Mungie. Okay, here we go. I got the stick for this one. The Mung Young Mungie are at 5-9. They're taking on the San Antonio Gorditas at 9-5. The San Antonio Gorditas right now currently are the second seed in the American East and leading the division. Simulate the game. Gorditas pull ahead 41-20, improving to 10-5. And I think that's going to clinch the division. I think that may clinch the division, depending on what Winchester does.
I was about to say that too. Caveman?
Yeah?
I was about to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Satsuma.
Barry, I believe, had come in for the injured Lionel McAllister. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Kareem Barry, 21 of 28 for 191 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Parker, the kicker, had to play. Pretty spread out. Everybody, just about a lot of people got touchdowns there, so I think Barry may get player of the game honors here. Yeah. We had a baby eats a boy with 10 tackles and a sack. Lychee and Dorado, the other star player with the interception. Kingston Punish.
Yeah, that should make up clinch the division.
That's probably going to we'll take a look at the end of the second game. The Kingston Punishers are at 9-5 currently. They are the number 3 seed in the American South, behind the Reading Rainbows. They are taking on the Flint Stones. Flint is currently the number 1 seed in Tank Bowl. If Flint wins, this is going to cause all sort of shitty fuckiness. Simulate the game.
Oh, no.
Kingston holds on. Normality. 27-24. And Flint is 1 game away from tying the league record for worst at 3-13.
And if we didn't lose this, it would be a tie heading the last day for the American South.
This now officially means that Flint has clinched Tank Bowl.
Regardless, it's
one way or another, we're in it.
Yes, because all they can do is a maximum of 4 losses. Lawn Fair, Ottawa, and Kansas City all have 4 right now. Flint is in. Flint has made Tank Bowl.
There's 5 teams that can tie the second seed.
There's still plenty of things. What the hell?
Oh.
How did you... Where do you... Oh, field goals. That's right. No, wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, field goals. Oh, sorry. Not much happening on offense in this game.
So I know, hey man,
that's a good one.
I have the dog standings pulled up so I can tell you.
Holy Fook with 13 tackles and interception, but it was all for naught. I don't know who gets player of the game honors. I'd probably give it to the fucking water boy. Darius Lewis with 3 tackles, a sack, and a fumble. I guess. We'll take a look. Baltimore's at 8-6. Oh, excuse me. Baltimore's at 7-7, I should say. Baltimore is on the outside looking in, but they have to win out in order to catch up with Dinosaur for the 4th seed, or battle the 4th seed for the American East.
Winchester is trying to battle for the 4th seed too.
Yep, Winchester is currently in battles, currently tied with Dinosaur for the 4th seed. So this is a big one. Simulate the game. Baltimore is out. 39-35.
Look at the seed pens. Caveman, that should wrap up the American Conference, unless chaos happens the last day.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. 39-35. That may lock it up for Winchester. San Antonio, I think now is a lock, is locked in. Let's see. Winchester with Weiner Shrinkin. Oh, Samuels was in. Shrinkin might be injured. Uh-oh. Randall Samuels, 15 of 27, 142 yards and 4 touchdowns. Damian Jones with the hot hand with 3 touchdowns, likely your player of the game. The game that was featured on Sunday night, Madison Wolfpack winning 35-21. Saskatoon and Augusta will be playing in Game 2 coming up here shortly. The Lawn Fair PG tips are at 4 and 11. They are currently in contention right now. They are taking on.
If we didn't win this game, this should wrap up the division.
Yeah, I think Reading's going to get number 1 seed and the division with the win.
If they don't win, chaos for next week.
Yeah, lovely. Simulate the game. Reading pulls ahead. 40 to 31. Brooks puts up 20 points in the first quarter. 20 just shy of a skunk at 27-0.
Wasn't even close.
No, they got off to an early lead and just rode it all the way. London Brooks 31 of 44, 214 yards, 6 touchdowns, and interception. Rashard Cook, the hot hand, 8 catches, 90 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tungsten Fred Tyson with 10 tackles and a sack. Boston Jellybeans are at 6 and 8. The Lafayette Subjugulators are at 5 and 9.
This game means nothing.
More or less, but we still got to play it. Simulate the game.
Just for pride.
And both teams go to 6 and 9.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice. 46 to 20.
Nice.
The Lafayette Subjugulators get the win.
The last few weeks, they killed the tank massively.
2 safeties by Lafayette.
Jesus.
Bill Dickerson, 24-35, 164 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kicker had to come in to play. Boston's kicker had to come in to play. What a sloppy game. Patrick Arden with 4 rushes for a negative 42 yards. Huh? Wait, huh? Whoa, huh?
He had a fumble.
That's probably one of them, but...
No, but he carried like 3 times! He carried 3 more times, Joe! You don't think he went backwards on one single play?
What, you don't think he could have ran for a 40-yard loss?
There's no
in this
way.
league? In this league? In this year?
You know, you're right.
I made a mistake, you fucking idiot. Fuck you.
Love it.
Hold on.
The dinosaur fossils right now coming into this week are at 8 and 6, tied for the 4th seed in the American Conference. The Fighting Polygon team, now thanks to Pittsburgh, have a chance to still get a chance at the playoffs, but they have to win. They have to win out. Simulate the game. Fighting Polygon team 56 to 37. Guts Davis
Now, if
goes
South Park
ham.
loses and Saskatoon loses, it is an all-out war for the 4th seed next week.
Davis with a pass. Postomania sidebread with a run. A pick 6. Irving 33 yards. Guts Davis again. Went crazy. Yeah, it may have to go for... Yeah, Davis is player of the game. The Burbank Buzzchins are at 10 and 4. They're currently number 1 seed in the American Conference. They're taking on the Alaska Pipeline at 5 and 9.
If they win, if Buzzards win here, they clinch the division and take the number 1 seed from Madison.
Correction. They are the number 2 seed.
But if they win, they'll be number 1 seed.
They would have to win. Well, Dead Horse is at 11 and 4.
Yeah, but remember, Burbank has a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. Simulate the game. The Pipeline have too few guards, defensive ends. Bottoms up. Lowest ranked person who is not an actual person. Was it the nose guard or tight end RE or? Offensive guard, linebacker.
Joe, what was it? I didn't even see.
OG line. It's offensive guard / lineman. OG. The Ogles. The Ogles would be it. Okay.
Ford Ogles.
The lowest rank Ogle is not Derek Crawford. It is Steve Poole.
He may have been a pussy, but we don't care.
Steve Poole comes to the pipeline.
Now let's try it.
Buzz Chins at pipeline. Simulate the game. Buzz Chins with the win. Normalcy reigns supreme. 45-42.
With that win, Buzz should cleanse the West and number 1 seed away from the Dead Horse.
Merton. Try to see Midas Campbell McAlpine. Buzz Chins are having a year. Hall with the 19-yard pick 6. Campbell McAlpine, never mind those 3 interceptions. I don't think that's going to get the play of the game. Just saying. Bam Wilkes with 5 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. It may go to the player had that may go to Spencer Hall for the picks for the game sealing pick 6. And our other game that we had on Sunday night, South Park Bill Hills got the win 34-21 over the Hope Peak. South Park keeps their playoff aspirations in line. We are now at the final week of the regular season. Injury report first.
There's an injury on the play. No, that's the wrong line. There's a man down.
Here's our people that are currently going through this. Ottawa, clean. Bill Hills, clean. Lake Green and Lee Matthews have injuries, but it's nothing too severe for the Buzzchins. Will be back for playoff time. Alderman's out. Massey, Pruitt, and Teague also injuries for Baltimore.
Skipped over and out for a season guy for Burbank.
Barris Driving is out for 2 weeks. If somehow they if they make playoffs, he might be back in for, crazy as this may sound, the conference game if Augusta pulls a miracle.
They need to pull a Larry Mize.
Dinosaurs got 2 injuries out for the season. Angelo Saxonville is going to be back for playoff time if they make it. San Antonio's clean. Wizardy Herbert, Boston, not much really going to be factoring there. They're both out of contention and contention.
You heard his Wizardy TD.
Wizardy Herbert. He's listed as questionable, though.
Trust me, I know questionable after this season.
Justice is served as probable, but, Kansas City is not going to be playing for much.
And Wish.com, Sammy Guevara. Oh, wait, no, that was someone else.
Sammy Rivera. Kim Bop for the Dead Horse Mountains listed as questionable. Randall Manyong is Aldridge, Rob Russell, and Makoto Nayagi listed as doubtful for the Hope Peak.
Oh, we could really use him for our final game of the year.
Just for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is playing Dead Horse.
Listen, it's packed. Anything can happen.
Ryan Leaf, as we all know. Kevin Sappett, Bubba Clinton, and Harry Tate. Harry Tate out with an injury for the pipeline.
One letter off of perfection.
Patrick Ells and Dwayne Nichols, the only injuries. Guts Davis still alive. John Bird for Kingston, listed as probable. Reggie Henson, the only injury for the Reading Rainbows. He's out for 2 weeks with a busted face. Horace Brickley, Kurt Warner would be back for the conference of championship if Solid Fries, 1, make the playoffs, and 2, run the table. Strained Achilles for Antonio Cox, listed as questionable for Salad Fries. 73s have Hutchinson, Dorsey, and Taylor all with injuries. Ross Davis out for the season. Ben Sherwood for the Sparkle Farts out for a week, and Jay Johnson out for the season. Boone out for the season. Houston listed as questionable for Flint. Lafayette, again, Yabba Dabba out for the season.
After the back half of the season did a number 2 Lafayette.
Yep. Brad McDowell out for 6 weeks for Madison. And those were the injuries. So nothing too scary right now for the teams that are still in contention. But now, let's go to the standings.
Oh boy.
We got some updates. The American East is still up for grabs.
Because Winchester holds the tiebreaker over San Antonio.
Aha. Winchester has tiebreaker.
If they didn't, then San Antonio would have the Y next to them.
So this is just really for debate. This is to see who gets at least the number 2 seed.
Basically.
So 10 and 5. So that's determining. So pretty much nothing officially locked up yet because we still got some other stuff going on. So American East right now has San Antonio at 10 and 5. Winchester's at 9 and 6. But American South is where it gets a little bit interesting. Reading has clinched the playoffs. But they have not clinched the first round yet.
Because Kingston owns their head-to-head.
Yes. Kingston is at 10 and 5. So thus, it's a battle between the number 1 and number 2. Number 1, number 2, number 3 seed is still up for grabs. Winchester is at 9 and 6. The Fossils are at 8 and 7. By virtue of Baltimore's loss, Baltimore is out of the playoffs.
Now that deserves a
Now,
hearty soundboard usage.
hold on a second.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Thank you. Let's take a look. I'm going to take a look at the team schedule for Dinosaur. We're going to have to see if Dinosaur holds tiebreaker over Winchester. If they do, that's going to make things a little interesting. Dinosaur and Winchester, 73s. They haven't played. They haven't played. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So, we do know that Winchester is playing Ottawa. We will have that game first.
Yes.
So, we have a conditional game. If Winchester loses,
Okay, let me throw this in.
And I don't know how the tiebreaker is going to play. Dinosaur Fossils will play Baltimore Challenge Passers.
If Ottawa wins, please repeat the thing.
Let me go through the playoff stuff and then we'll worry about Tank Bowl. Okay. So if Winchester loses, if Winchester wins, we won't play the game. We will not play that game. Dinosaur Fossils versus Baltimore Challenge Passers, only if Winchester loses. Back to the standings. Baltimore is out of the playoffs. And then everything else is just for seeding, and we're not going to worry about seeding. Yeah, we're not gonna worry too much about seeding. So right now, Winchester and Dinosaur are on the hot seats. So for Winchester, it is win, and you may have a shot. Now, the other thing is, yeah, they would. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so if Winchester wins, they're in the playoffs. Dinosaur is out. Dinosaur wins, and
Okay, so here's what I have typed out. Ottawa versus Winchester. If the All Caps win, we play Baltimore versus Dinosaur. If Winchester wins, the 73s are in.
yes, Winchester wins. Dinosaur is out, and they'll have at least they're in with at least the 4th seed. And Dinosaur wins, and Winchester loss causes fucking chaos. I can't guarantee anything. All right, so that's the only game right now hinging in the American Conference so far. Well, that's perfect because 73s in Ottawa also covers Tank Bowl. All right, to the National Midwest. The National Midwest is looking pretty good. The Dead Horse Mountains are at 11-4. The Madison Wolfpack by virtue of their win have clinched the playoffs.
Oh.
Now it all comes down to seeding.
And the rest of the division is just a battle of mid.
Well, we have Fighting Polygon at 8-7. We have Saskatoon at 8-7. We have Augusta at 8-7. And we have the Salad Fries at 9-6.
And you have
And the
Hope
Bill-
at 7-8 that holds the tiebreaker over 2 of the teams that could somehow find a way to bullshit their way to the last seed.
So who has tiebreaker over Pittsburgh? So this means, I
Let's
hate to
check
say
the
this,
schedule.
but it's going to be Pittsburgh versus Alaska next week.
Yeah, that's going to determine who Salad Fries, I think, are winning in.
Burbank can go no lower than than the 2nd seed. They have clinched the division. So Burbank is in. The Salad Fries are at 9-6, and the South Park Bill Hells are at 8-7. So the question now becomes, who has tiebreaker over what keeps me up at night? The Pittsburgh by God Salad Fries. Okay,
I have no idea.
let's find out, shall we? Let's find out together.
I was told there would be no math.
Okay.
Is there a potential for a 5-way tie for that?
No,
position?
no, and no, please, no, no,
I
no,
hate South Park.
it can't be. Wait,
So they lost to Alaska.
Saskatoon plays Madison. Fighting plays Kansas City. Augusta plays Flint. South Park plays Burbank. There is a chance of a 5-way tie.
The most Pittsburgh finish imaginable. And of course, Hope could pull a win out of their ass against Dead Horse.
Oh no! 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 This is the worst timeline ever.
So what I am hearing is that we play the Pittsburgh game first. If Pittsburgh wins, then everything is academic because they've made it in. If they lose, and we basically look
That's-
at the 4 teams that are sitting at 8-7,
That hold tiebreaker over Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go down the list. We're looking for the Sparkle Farts first.
Here's what I have.
What?
Pittsburgh is
Here we go. Salad Fries have 1 win over the Sparkle Farts. Salad Fries have tiebreaker over Saskatoon. Thereby, Saskatoon is eliminated. Right now. Right now. Because if there's a 5-way tie or a multi-team tie, I don't know how the fuck it works.
Yeah, because if it's a multiple team tie, I think it goes by conference record first.
Where's Pat when we need him? And Pat's gonna be like,
Yeah.
fuck if I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Pat, just say, fuck this shit.
All right, so we are the two games that are absolutely finite right now are the Winchester 73s versus Ottawa All Caps, and Pittsburgh versus fucking Alaska.
Here's what I have. Pittsburgh is a winning in. If Alaska wins, fuck everything in the world falls in on itself.
Don't do this to me. Do not do this to me.
It's Pittsburgh. You know they will.
No. If Alaska wins, I'll swim. If Alaska wins, I will swim in the fucking Shenandoah.
I want to see that.
No, I didn't sign off on that shit.
I like Mikey's answer for some reason. Have some guy pull a name out of a hat, and then we shoot him Eric Andre style.
That's great. Eric Andre style. So we can confirm right now for Sunday, October 1st, we have at least two games. Winchester 73s versus Ottawa All Caps. Do we want to do Pittsburgh as the early game? We'll flex the schedule. Let me know which games you want. The early game, the late game, whichever. So Winchester versus Ottawa is game 1. Game 2, and the game that's going to keep.
No.
I don't know I don't know if we want to do this game first or second. Pittsburgh versus Alaska.
I just en masse dumped my notepad into the owner's lounge.
Okay.
And another point got brought up. There could potentially be a 3-way tie for first.
3-way tie for first.
I mean, I think the game puts us into playoffs automatically, so it'll sort out the ties themselves. And at that point, it's just
going to sort out the ties, but tiebreakers in Arena 2 are fucking impossible.
Yeah.
So pretty much I've listed here. Regarding Winchester and Dinosaur, that's the only tentative game right. That's the only other game that's the tentative one. So if Winchester wins, Dinosaur's out. That's plain and simple. So Winchester loses, Dinosaur wins, then it's chaos because it's a tiebreaker, and I honestly don't know who. And I hate to say this, but I honestly don't know who would get the 4th seed in that case. Now, fucking Pittsburgh. Okay, so if Pittsburgh loses,
if Madison and South Park win and Hope beats Dead Horse, it's a 3-way tie for the number 1 seed.
okay, I'm not concerned with seeding. I'm just debating on. I'm not too concerned with seeding. I mean, pretty much if you're in, you're in. The seeding, I'm not too worried about.
You're having an existential crisis over the possibility of a 5-way tie.
Yes, that's the biggest heart attack that I'm faced with right now. All right, has Pittsburgh played the Fighting Polygon team at all? I don't think they have. Oh,
No.
Fuck me, they haven't.
they haven't played Augusta
They
either.
lost to Baltimore.
Hold on, let's go through this. So Fighting, and then Augusta. Have they played the Duffers? They have not. Oh, Jesus.
And then I think they split the season series with Baltimore? If that's even possible in this?
Bill Hells have the advantage on points.
South Park Bill Hills, 135-30. That's
No.
No, Pittsburgh won 35-30
No,
They
that's
played
what I'm
twice.
saying.
plus
They
5,
played twice.
and then lost 57-16 to.
Oh, and then they got completely.
And then lost 24-40. Yeah,
Oh,
so South
yeah.
Park has.
Blue wants to help.
Less chefs in the oven, please, please. So this means if Pittsburgh loses, the South Park game would be the next game to play. And that is South Park versus Burbank. Hey, how about that? You get to see the Buzz Chins before playoffs. If Pittsburgh loses, then the first team we would have to consider is South Park. I think those are the other teams. And then after that, I think we're looking at probably. So we would have 2 games on Sunday. Depending on the outcomes, by some miracle, if Winchester wins and Pittsburgh wins, then we would have 0 games on a Wednesday.
So can I add one thing to that?
Yes.
So if that happens and Ottawa loses, do you want to play the Flint game to determine whether we have a tank or not?
To determine if we have a tank in?
Yes.
So Blue did the math in Notepad for the number 1 seed. It would be Madison.
Okay.
If
But
your
again,
noise Bill O'Reilly,
that's-
it means I have more news.
I appreciate the work, but at the same time, I'm not concerned with seeding. All I'm concerned with right now is if you're in the playoffs or if you're in Tank Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out who's actually going before we worry about where the seeding's going to be.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if Winchester and Pitt win, then we're gonna do. We're gonna put Flintstones versus Augusta Duffers. And then fuck it, we'll do golf. And then golf, since it will only be 1 game on the schedule for Wednesday. Which I think would be I think that would actually be the shortest week 18 we've ever had.
Yeah.
So the big one right now, least case scenario, is Winchester wins, Pittsburgh wins. We play the Flint game versus Augusta to determine if we have a tank in. At least we'll give you something on a Wednesday. A night of golf or horses? No, we'll do golf. If Winchester loses and Winchester loses and Pittsburgh wins, it's a doubleheader. Flintstones, and we'll do Fossils and Challenge Passers, and then the Flintstones versus Augusta Duffers. And if the fucking Salad Fries lose, it's football. At this point, one of the games is going to be part of the doubleheader on Wednesday. So if Winchester loses, it's Dinosaur Fossils versus Baltimore Challenge Passers. If Pittsburgh loses, then at this point, we would have to play the other 4 games. Either a doubleheader on determining what happens. We would be looking at least a doubleheader. One of the games would be played on Wednesday night. And we would have anywhere from 2 to 3 games on a football afternoon. Which I'd have to check my work schedule, but I believe I am off on Thursday. So that will be... so we'll have a football afternoon. South Park Bill Hills versus Burbank Buzzchins will be the one game. It still would be Flint versus Augusta. Okay, a revelation has just been acquired. Wednesday, regardless of the outcome, Flintstones versus Augusta Duffers. Because Augusta would have a chance at the playoffs if Pittsburgh loses. And if Pittsburgh wins, then it's determined if Flint has a 3-way tank bowl.
Something for the whole family.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
And then the other 3 games, South Park versus Burbank. And then Saskatoon. So we have... Gus is already there. Saskatoon and Fighting would be the other ones.
I have Flint versus Augusta as the first game on Wednesday. I heard that.
Madison versus Saskatoon, football after dark. And then...
Also, I put into the text chat in the commentation station. If Pittsburgh wins and Burbank wins, it's Pittsburgh versus Burbank 4 in the first round.
Oh, okay, that's a little different.
Because Burbank beat Dead Horse.
Zazzle Beef may still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Oh my Christ.
So, as it currently stands, so help me God. Stream games will be as follows for Sunday night. Winchester 73s versus Ottawa All Caps, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The game to follow, the Pittsburgh Salad Fries versus the Alaska Pipeline.
That's already in there. For the first game, if the All Caps win, we play Baltimore versus Dinosaur on Wednesday. If Winchester wins, the 73s are in, and that leaves the second game there. Whatever it may be, as the contingency. Second game, Pittsburgh versus Alaska. If the Salad Fries win, they're in, everything is fine, and their playoff opponent just subsists on what Burbank does in the sim games on Wednesday. If the Pipeline wins, there is no God.
Yep. So Winchester loses. We play Dinosaur Fossils versus Baltimore Challenge Passers on Wednesday. Pittsburgh loses. The yacht comes to Three Rivers. Flintstones versus Augusta Duffers, as that will determine if Augusta can make the playoffs, and Flint will make a 3-way tank bowl. If Pittsburgh would win, then we would just do that's the only game that we would have. Could that determine now? And that if Pittsburgh wins, then we have golf in game 2, where game 2 would normally be, or we just play Heidi. We play the Heidi Bowl. If Winchester loses, Dinosaur Fossils versus Baltimore Challenge Passers would be game number 2.
If Ottawa wins, game 2 would be.
Game 2 would be Dinosaur Fossils versus Baltimore Challenge Passers, and then we have 3 games for football afternoon. South Park versus Burbank, Madison versus Saskatoon, Kansas City versus Fighting. If Winchester wins, however, one of those games will get bumped up to Wednesday, and we'll have a 2-game football afternoon if Pittsburgh loses. Right? Right. Okay, so there is an opportunity for the first time ever to have a 5-way tie for the final seed because Pittsburgh cannot get the fucking job done. Don't!
Okay, here's Wednesday. Flintstones versus Augusta Duffers determine Super Weapon Tank Bowl, or the Duffers make the quietest playoffs in history. If the All Caps win, Challenge Passers versus Fossils are game 2.
Yep.
If Winchester wins, golf.
No, if Winchester wins, then that means Dinosaurs eliminated from the playoffs. So, and if Pittsburgh wins and Winchester win, then it's just Flintstones versus Augusta and then golf afterwards. If Pittsburgh loses, the schedule's fucking weird. Pretty much what it hinges on right now. Winchester and Pittsburgh win. It's only 1 game on Wednesday. Pittsburgh wins. Winchester loses. It's a doubleheader. Pittsburgh loses.
That's what I just threw in there. If Pittsburgh plus Winchester win on Sunday, game 2 on Wednesday is golf.
Yes.
And I already threw in there. If Alaska beats Pittsburgh, the world falls in on itself.
Yes, the world collapses on its own anus.
The Earth decided to prolapse.
It's late. Go to bed. The world goes inside out on its own anus. I knew this was going to happen. This is the...
If the world's going to die, of course, it's going to be at the hands of Pittsburgh sports.
If Alaska wins, I'll swim.